Hopefully you've seen our other tutorials on working with Polarion's LiveDoc documents. In this one, we'll take a look at the Round Trip for Microsoft Word feature. It lets you collaborate with customers or others who don't have access to your Polarion system, or just work on a document offline yourself. The first step is to export the LiveDoc document for Round Trip. To do that, open the document in the document editor, then drop down the Operations menu, go to Word Round Trip, and choose Export Document. In the next dialog, you have some options that control what level of change can be made in the exported doc. Review is the most restrictive. Your recipient will be able to add comments in Word, but that's all. Notice that you can optionally export without comments. That means any comments that may already exist in the online document. So if you have comments like, "We should charge triple for this feature," you might consider checking this option before exporting your document for a customer. The prioritization option lets the recipient set some work item field values as well as add comments. The fields listed are those in the presentation configuration. Here's a quick screenshot of that. It's covered in the Working with Documents video. Fields that are restricted by Polarion for export can't be checked. ID, status, for example. Look at the tooltip over disabled fields and you'll see why they're restricted. The collaboration option is the least restrictive. The recipient can add comments, set field values, and modify the text. This is the option you would use if you want to work on a document offline. I'll export this document using the prioritization option. Let's say the work item titles and severity are already agreed, so I won't let those fields be edited in the exported doc, but I will allow my recipient to set priority. Notice the option to remember this export configuration next time you export a document. To launch export, click Start and choose what to do with the exported document. I'll open it in Word, but of course to share the document you'd save it somewhere locally and email it. So here's the exported document in Word. I'm now the customer who got the doc by email. Notice when I try to edit the text, this panel about restrictions pops up. This is pretty nice because I can easily find what part of the doc I can edit. So here in this work item, I'll put a value for priority and add a comment. Please implement first. That sounds like a good comment. And now I'll save the changes and email the Word doc back to the project leader, which I think I can safely skip showing you. Back in Polarion as the project lead or whomever, I've saved the document from my customer's email, and I'll now import the changes into my LiveDoc document in Polarion. With the document open, you go back to the Operations menu, Word Round Trip, and this time Import Changes. Select the local copy of the customer's edited doc and consider then the following import options. Overwrite conflicts. If you check this, any changes in the Word doc that conflict with the online version will overwrite the same items in the online document. Don't forget that Polarion maintains a history of the document, so you could always revert to an earlier version, but better of course to review the document beforehand to be sure of what you're importing. Import comments only, well, that's just what it says. And of course you can opt to save the settings and use them every time you do a Word round trip import. So after the import is completed, the document in the portal is updated and reflects the changes. Let's just see that real quick. If the document sidebar is closed, you can select Comments there to check for comments and jump right to any listed comment. Here's the one we saw earlier in Word, and the priority value that I added to the Word doc. Remember that you can check the document history too. From the menu, View History, which shows you all the revisions of the document. Select two revisions, in this case the two most recent. Compare them, and you readily see what changed. That's pretty much Word Round Trip in a nutshell, and we hope this video will help you get started using it. As always, if you have comments or questions, please let us know at info@polarion.com.